What's going on, gamers? So here we have a video by Porter Rock saying, "Stop damage controlling for lack of quality in gaming." And there's some things I do agree with him on. One of the things that he's talking about is Sony making a mistake but lost on the side, which I agree that part of this is their fault. They chose it, and they thought there was going to be some publishing hit. It was going to be PC day and date, and what ended up happening. Man, even after that delay all the way back, right? You're supposed to watch that May all the way down to now, and you still see, man, it still wasn't done. They were checking on this. They knew about this. So there is no damage controlling. The game is mid, literally. And people talk about combat, yeah, but that's easy to do when you have the combat of most Japanese games that were mastered, and you kind of just put that in there with the Unreal Engine not making, you don't need to make an engine, you know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing here? No, I mean, there's a lot of scamming going on there, and Sony knew it, and they didn't warn you. They hyped it up like it was supposed to be some amazing game, and honestly, it was deceptive. So, yeah, let's see what Porter Rock has to say. I agree with him on a lot of things. Here we go. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go.
Energy. Nah, just be real. Just be a grown ass man. Be a grown man. Just be grown, man. Just call. You cannot tell me that this game hits the PlayStation template, meaning the level of excellence, right? And I know this is a small studio, and it's for that reason you have to give the bitch slap to Sony. You have to take the palm of the back of your hand and slap the shit out of Sony. Because number one, this is a small studio. So why would Sony make them do multi-plat day one development? How many years have we talked about, focusing on one platform provides advantages to the developer to truly focus on a machine to get.
If that means that if they would have took that route and that game would have been way more optimized and better, or at least been in that 70 bracket, and then you bring it to PC later and then they get a better port, yeah, I would take that. If that was the case, I'm like, oh, if that's going to, because if you're new, it's your first game, you know what I mean? You're making them do all that. I can understand that because that's a lot for one guy who's supposed to, Yang Bing was supposed to be working on the game by himself. I have to say there is some mismanagement here, and it's definitely some deception. Like people tried to make fun of Microsoft for Redfall, but Sony ended up coming out with this. What's going on? You see what I'm saying? This is why you can't sit there and be hypocritical on the other side because they had an opportunity to have a slam for a publishing IP, and they didn't note it like Helldivers. So yeah, this is definitely Sony's fault, and they should have handled it better. Yeah, I mean, nobody knew there was going to be that type of game. They did. So, yeah, no excuses, bro.
Get the most out of it. You don't have to worry about other, platforms to try to make concessions and figure out and balance out quality control between multiple devices. No, you focus that on one device, you get the most, you worry about the quality of the game. You're not rushed on trying to, get the performance up on another platform, right? Especially PC, which has multiple configurations, right? And things you got to deal with, things you got to learn, right? You don't have to worry about that. You focus on one platform, you get the best quality game that you can, and then you port it later. And that's what should have happened. Sony should have said, listen, we're only going to do PlayStation 5, PS5 Pro. You're going to focus on that. We're going to observe and look. You're going to get the quality up. You're going to get the performance better. You're going to get locked better frame rates, right? You're going to minimize all these, defects and stuff, these lack of unoptimizations, right? You're going to get the graphical quality up, we're going to help you get better voice acting to get that.
I agree with him with that, but the problem with this game is that when you looked at the way they had the voice acting, like I was watching some Chinese movie in the 70s trying to lip sync over English, like those type of lines, right? And it just makes me laugh, and you realize that dude, this is AI slop, you know what I mean? And on top of like all the other stuff, the writing is too bad, the story sucks, the worlds are not that interesting. Yeah, I mean, even if Sony did do that, I don't know if that would have made this better. Because the problems that they have are not necessarily because they have to put it on other consoles. No, your writing still sucks, you know what I mean? Yeah, your world is boring and all that other stuff. It's just too much imitated AI slop. It's definitely a knockoff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a knockoff, bro, in a lot of ways. With just bundle limitations, it's just mid with a Sony publishing on it. Like, it was going to be something epic. Womp womp.
Voice acting level up to par, especially for the English, right? English voiceovers, right? We're gonna get this game very successful in the West, right? And for those who own PlayStation.
Hmm.
Once the game is out on PlayStation, the console, everything's great and crisp. Now you start working on the PC, and now you only have to focus on the PC version. So that way, when you release it on the PC version, it's a quality, high level production product. I don't understand how, people are damage controlling that. Like, literally, people
Hmm.
are mad that we're not accepting substandard overall development. Yo, it's insane, bro.
Yeah, 100% agreement. Dude, I come from a Nintendo world where they're all about first party quality 24/7. And I come and see some of these developers, and then I see some of their methods too. Like the laziness of file decompression is pathetic. Doing it on purpose. You put 5 games on there, you got to get a new hard drive already. And then you see them reducing the size of it too. And it's like, yeah, you guys could do a better job on file decompression. But if you don't do that, guess what? The sales of their accessories go down and the SSDs that you want to get for them or the memory cards, all that type of stuff, because it all aligns back to that. Hmm?
Oh, this shit is wild, man. Like,
Yeah.
and this is stuff that we've been preaching as PlayStation gamers on what some of the advantages of exclusives and developing on one console. These are the things that help out developers stuff. Especially as a small studio, you definitely don't want them. A small studio that never made a AAA game before, AA game, whatever. They never made a big game on a console or PC before. And on the first go, you want them multiplat same day, like day and day multiplat across all these configurations, to have the small studio do PS5, PS5 Pro enhancements, and then worry about PC where they have to worry about NVIDIA and DLSS technology and AMD and FSR4 technology, 3 and all that other stuff and everything between. They have to worry about AMD CPUs, Intel CPUs, all that stuff. Different configurations of RAM. You have them worry about all this stuff. When in reality, the expectation is as a publisher, your number one priority releasing a quality product for your console fan base. I understand you're trying to
Hmm.
grow your audience and get more consoles sold, in China. But you can't sell consoles if you don't provide quality games. I think Sony forgot about that. Like the game cannot just
No, literally, because Wukong was a phenomenon, right? That's like China's Dragon Ball Z in a way, right? When you come with these type of games, man, y'all gotta be coming with these small fires and medium fires. China has to come straight fire, you know what I mean? This is not what I want to see as a China Hero project from PlayStation Publishing. Because it's just embarrassing. It is though. And I was looking forward to this game in certain ways, but there's so many games out that I just let it go because I'm like, how many games are? It's insane. Remember how much I said that was happening? Look at that shit already. Hollow Knight, Chronos the New Dawn. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, what already? And fucking what was that other game that just came out? You got that Hot Shots golf game that came out. Star Wars Outlaws came out for the Switch too as well. I don't care about that. I can play that on PC, and I'm not even play it yet. But the idea is that just all around there's so many games. The Shinobi game, Ninja Gaiden game, Helldivers 2. Dude, don't have a time. Kirby, I just beat that recently, but I didn't get to beat the DLC. And just like so many games that are coming at a rate, and I'm like, bro, within about a week or 9 days or 2 weeks, Borderlands is in front of me. That's 100 plus, 200 plus hours. I'm like, oh my God, man. This is crazy, man. And then the next month we got Pokemon, Battlefield. Oh, man, it's nonstop. It's good though. I like this. I like this. I would rather have so much epic stuff to do than have nothing to do. Yeah, give me all that because I can just go through all these epic adventures eventually.
simply exist just because it exists. That doesn't do anything for anybody,
Yeah.
right? As you can see, this
And this came out too, right? You know what I mean? It's just another example. There's so many games and indie games. It's crazy.
game's not selling well, right? Hardly anyone's buying it.
Nobody gonna buy this
And it's
shit.
not even being bought in its own country, China. So they're
Yeah.
not even buying it. So what did we accomplish? And what are the people damage controlling this accomplishment? We're not gonna get a Solar Side 2. That's you could write that shit off. That's not happening. It's over for that. This game is a wrap. And China and Sony probably is not gonna greenlight another OT0 game. They're done. So this OT0 studio,
And it kind of sucks if that happens, but like I said, a portion of it is definitely Sony's fault.
they're gonna have to either do stuff on their own or find another publisher.
When doing
But
indie
this
game,
relationship is done with Sony. You know what I'm saying? And this is all Sony's fault, man. Sony knows better, man. You cannot tell me a studio that produce, a
props.
publisher that teamed up with studios and produced some of the biggest hits couldn't have done more for this studio. Couldn't have been a smarter approach in developing this game. I understand this game took 8 to 10 years and there were some issues, but Sony could have mitigated this. Definitely don't do same day multiplat. That's absolutely ridiculous for a small studio coming out with their first project.
I can
They needed
understand that.
more
Yeah,
mentorship, and more time, getting used to developing more games. Give them some reps. You should have just had them focus on the PS5 version. See, this is what happens with multiplat development, man. This is what
yeah.
happens. You run at risk, creating unoptimized games.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it can work. We've seen this. It's no problem. It's just that is it ready or not? And if it's so ready, I can put it all over here. At the same time, like we know live service. That's full operation now. But in these type of situations, like I said, if it could help, then yeah, take that route. But if you feel like you're gonna release a broken game because you have to do all this, and so yeah, don't do it then. In that situation, yeah, you know what I mean? Because that's always gonna be a double-edged sword now more than ever. Because people are just gonna say, yeah, you just step your game up. But in this case, like you said, it's one guy. I mean, you know what I mean? What the hell is he gonna do if you're not helping him like that? So that's why I'm like, yeah, I can understand the situation. It's really just ignorant. And I don't know why. I can't believe Sony just let it happen like this. I'm just gonna taint their publishing matter too. You're supposed to be competing with Microsoft. They're beating you with that, and this is not going to help your aggregate score.
Because they're trying to make the game work on multiple platforms. This is the result, right? And how does this help PlayStation 5 consoles? How did PlayStation 5 owners win with a multi-plat development on PC, right? And this is where people be like, well, more platform means more people can play. Yeah, who's the more people now? Who's the more people now? Huh? More people ain't playing this game. Why? Because the game's not quality. Quality first.
That's a really good point because it's like you said, if it sucks, they're just gonna ignore it. And I agree that you would have been better off trying to make it better that way if it was possible with this crappy writing. Yeah, if you're gonna help them out, you know what I mean? Not the damn AI slop looking like you were doing some lip syncing writing from the 1970s. You know what I mean? Like the Bruce Lee world got opened up and here comes the Chinese lip syncing in Hollywood. It's just funny because when I looked at some of those lines, I was like, man, I think these youngsters growing up are not gonna know what these people that watch those Bruce Lee movies or was growing up in the 80s or 90s, you would laugh at it because you would know exactly what I'm talking about. It's hilarious to me. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe they're openly doing this AI slop shortcut this whole time. Like, it's crazy the amount of shortcuts that are in that game. And that's what I mean by like, yeah, no AI, man.
And you got to
Not like
recognize the
that.
developers, man. Some developers aren't good multi-plat devs. It is what it is. They don't have the skills for multi-plat development.
Well, yeah, and China's mostly like used to PC gaming. I know what he means, but that's a thing that's kind of like a standard now, though, in the mainstream. But maybe not in these type of situations, though, for sure.
They got to slow down,
Should.
focus on one platform, give them the ability to max out that platform to make the game at the best that it is, and then you port it to PC. Stellar Blade did it, and it was perfectly fine. And PC gamers did not mind waiting a year for the game. And the game was a sounding success. I think even China bought the hell, and that's a Korean game. You know what I'm saying? This multi-plat strategy that Sony's trying to implement does not benefit the console gamer. At best, game comes out fine. At worst, we end up losing because PC gamers ain't gonna care. If it's good, it's good. If it's not, it's not. But as console gamers who bought the PS5,
True.
we expect our first party to give us a quality product every time. And I know some people be like, well, you lose some, you win some. No, because guess what? It's still $60. It's still $70. That's money still coming out of our pocket. So I'm not giving the studio the benefit of the doubt if you win some, lose some. No, I expect a quality product, right? And if this is the attitude, Sony, and this is just, I'm just gonna lead this off to a one-off, right? But if Sony does this multiple times again, then guess what? I won't be buying games day one. Hell, don't make me get GameFly and I'll just rent all your shit. If that's it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get my money, the full-fledged money, and then you're gonna half-ass your thing because you're worrying about multi-plat development. You want to worry about multi-plat development? Go ahead. You worry about multi-plat development. I'll just rent your shit. I won't buy any of your games. And that's a message for all third parties included too, because y'all third party developers are pissing me off too. I'm sick and tired of these day one messes, and y'all want to fix it later. You know what I'm saying? If y'all want to treat your games like rental, then I will rent them because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you guys want to release rentals. It seems like every game is going to be like Game Pass fodder. I don't mind. I mean, shit, I have no issues signing up for GameFly and renting your games. None. I'll still play it, and it'll only be like $20 a month. It'll
I feel him on that. That is kind of annoying. You know, we've been calling it out with the Unreal 5 and all this garbage. And then people coming out damage control and saying, oh, this and that. I'm like, oh, dude, get out of here, man. I think stutters. It was unfinished. I don't want to hear that. Now, obviously, you could use it better because they just came out with the Lumen update, of course, saying that. But it's like, dude, no, that's not flying over here. I've had enough of that fucking engine and all the other stuttering garbage with it and just everything that is just made me wait longer than necessary but they want full price. Broken generation, man. So good talk here by PR. Had to, react to this, get some more interesting stuff going again. Let me know what you guys think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. You know how it is. Ponies, sit down. And PlayStation gamers, you standing up and criticizing Sony and knowing that you deserve better. Definitely. If you see somebody win a championship and they dumping on you, what's going on, man? Gotta get on that. Peace out.